everybody? Welcome to the Trust Your Board podcast. My name's Stephen Wright. I am joined by Mr. William Monroe. Got another mini mock on the way for you here today. Will, what are we doing?
Today we are doing an 8-team PPR mini mock draft, so on the smaller side. I've seen a couple 8 teams. I don't know in any myself. I have an 8-team baseball league, but probably the smallest I would think that a league can reasonably be. So it'll be an interesting one here. 8-team full point, and you are drafting out of the 3rd, and I will be drafting out of the 6th spot.
Beautiful. Yeah, I have been an 8-team, but it's been a long time, 10 years or so. So, yeah, it'll be fun. You ready to get going?
Do it.
Okay, so the clock is ticking. I already am not. No, I am changing that Camaro pick.
Yeah.
That is not happening. So that
would be nice.
Yeah, I know. It would have been, but no. So Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey went off the board at 1-1 and 1-2. I am going to probably surprise some here, and I'm not going running back. I'm going to go with Michael Thomas to start here.
Okay.
Reason being, in a smaller league like this, I want the positional advantages, and Michael Thomas represents that. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in here. Start with a wide receiver. I don't remember the last time I did that, so it should be interesting. We have Alvin Kamara and Zeke go off the board before you.
All right. And I was looking there. I think Zeke was ranked like 8th for some reason in this ranking too. So I thought he might sneak by to me, but he did not. So for me, with just that one receiver off the board, still looking running back. It's really a 2-team race. Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry, the 2 people I'm considering here. Kind of hoping maybe a Kenyon Drake falls back to me or Josh Jacobs in the next round. We will see. But overall, we'll see what happens with Cook with the holdout here. Still don't know exactly. Well, we're still a month and change away from the season. But I'm not a big Derrick Henry fan. I know he got the contract. He's going to get the workload. But I would still lean Dalvin Cook over Henry. Now, if he went and let's say Michael Thomas was still there, that would be a little more difficult, and I may go Derrick Henry. But this one here, we're going to go Dalvin Cook first. Devontae Adams goes, Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, and Josh Jacobs. So gamble kind of paid off. I was hoping my guy Kenyon Drake would fall back to me, and he did. So I'd be thrilled to start this league up here with a Dalvin Cook and Kenyon Drake. After that, Julio, Nick Chubb to you.
Ah, man, I wanted Chubb.
Yeah.
That hurts. That makes. Let's look at the running backs here so I can lock in my running back. I got Miles Sanders.
You don't want to have that Michael Thomas, Tyreek Hill stack. It's like the ultimate wide receiver stack, right?
I could take like a 0 RB approach with this, and I've kind of considered it because I think I don't know. I like Miles, but I don't know. There's a difference between him and like a 12-team and him as an 8-team. I just don't want him as my 1 in this situation. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? Let's go with Tyreek Hill. We'll got some safety. We'll add some boom. We'll see what gets back to me. Maybe I'll go tight end here too. We did have Miles Sanders go off the board right after me, Austin Eckler. Then to start the 3rd, Lamar Jackson, DeAndre Hopkins. So I am going to be the first one to strike at a tight end in an 18. Your smaller leagues, you want those positional advantages, and I'm going to go ahead and grab mine at tight end. So there's really there's no problem with either of these guys, Kelsey or Kittle. I am going to go ahead and go with Kittle strictly because of the Debo injury, really. Oh, yeah, Tyreek too. Yeah, that's the reason. Totally.
There you go.
No, but what I was saying, it's more the Debo injury. I'm sure Debo's going to start off slow. Got a rookie there. They're going to rely on Kittle a little bit more, I would imagine. So he should get off to a little bit of a hotter start. I'll lock in Kittle. Aaron Jones, Kenny Golladay go off the board right before you.
Yeah, this is tough because I was looking at tight end as well. So, Kelsey or Kittle, either would be fine. But you still got the likes of Chris Godwin. Now, Mike Evans is still there as well, so I don't imagine both go. But there's a little bit of a drop-off after that to Thielen, Allen Robinson, Juju. So debating here, locking in one of those receivers and hoping that both teams behind me don't go and maybe Andrews. but I don't know that I want to risk that drop down. So we'll see what happens with the wide receiver position in the next round. But I want to lock in Travis Kelce here, as you mentioned. That positional advantage is so much more important here in these smaller leagues. So we'll lock in Travis Kelce. After that goes Patrick Mahomes, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Wow, team number 8 does double down on the Tampa Bay receivers.
Yeah, you could do it with that team.
James Conner, interesting. So we still got Adam Thielen, Allen Robinson, Juju Smith-Schuster. I may pivot away from that even more now, though, just because I'm not super thrilled about any of them, and look back at the running back position. Kyler's interesting, but you can't go your lead quarterback in the sheer amount that are going to be available. So I'm looking here at Mr. CEH, Todd Gurley, David Johnson, Leonard Fournette. Still a good bit of safer value guys, but I think Clyde has a ton of upside, and I don't mind pairing him with a Travis Kelce. Limits maybe a little bit of upside touchdown-wise, but I think both of them are going to do well, and with Clyde, I can kind of sit back, don't need him to be usable right away, but I'd like the long-term upside. So we'll go with Clyde here and then punt the receiver position another round. After him goes Adam Thielen, David Johnson.
Wow, I was actually thinking about trying to get David Johnson at the 5-3, so that sucks. Oh well.
Yeah.
Easy first pick for me here. I'm going to go with Todd Gurley. I've mentioned him on multiple podcast episodes now. Tons of upside. I think relative safety as long as he doesn't get hurt. He didn't get hurt last year, really, so there's no reason to believe it's going to be an issue. He didn't get hurt last year, right?
You saying David Johnson or Gurley?
No, Gurley.
I think maybe nothing major.
Yeah, just minor stuff, right?
Pretty much the whole year.
Yeah, it was just like an off-season surgery or something he had, right?
Yes.
Trying to remember. Okay, cool. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and draft Gurley. I feel somewhat comfortable with him as my first running back. Allen Robinson, Chris Carson go off the board, and then Leonard Fournette to start the 5th. Man, things are not going my way right now. And then we had OBJ go off right before me. So I do want to add another running back since I only got the one. We have Lev Bell, Melvin Gordon, Jonathan Taylor, Mark Ingram, David Montgomery. Oh, boy. This is tough for a number 2. I would have been real happy with Chris Carson, Leonard Fournette, or David Johnson. Apparently, Sleeper is very happy with those 3 as well. I will go ahead and just stick with the volume play that is Lev Bell. Melvin Gordon has given me some pause for thought because I think he might have the higher upside given the overall offense is better. But who knows how that timeshare is going to split out. So I will go with Bell here as a nice volume play for my second running back and last pick. Juju went off the board, and then Cooper Kupp picks to you.
Cooper Kupp was the one I was really hoping for there. I would be thrilled to have him as my wide receiver 1, in the 5th round. Tough here. I think I'd have to pivot a little more now, and I'd probably look for just kind of the best receiver I think available, and that's Amari Cooper. I don't like to get, my number 1 to be boom bust guy, unless, it's Tyreek Hill, and then he, I think, is more consistent on a game-to-game basis. But with the likes of DJ Moore, A. Brown, Robert Woods, tons of safer options that I'll be able to pair with Cooper. So we'll lock in Amari Cooper here as my first wide receiver, and move on from there, with the mindset of, looking at safer wide receivers to build around him. So we go Amari. After Amari goes Melvin Gordon and A.J. Brown.
Okay, cool. So that's going to wrap up the mock. Let's give a rundown of our teams. In the first, I went with Michael Thomas. In the second, Tyreek Hill. In the third, George Kittle. In the fourth, Todd Gurley. And in the 5th, Le'Veon Bell. Overall, I like the team. I mean, it calls to a gambling kind of pass of mine, but I have the positional advantage really at wide receiver and at tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Which is awesome. The running back position is definitely worrisome. I would be pounding out the running back position the rest of this draft. Looking what's on the board right now, Ingram, Montgomery, Singletary, Akers. If I could turn around and grab like a Singletary or a Montgomery with my next pick and then swing around and grab like a Kareem Hunt or a Raheem Mostert, I would feel pretty good. But we'll see. And then I could start grabbing some later running backs or wide receivers. But overall, I like it. It's definitely risky, but that's how I play sometimes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So run down mine real quick here. Out of the 6th spot, Dalvin Cook. 1st round. 2nd round, Kenyon Drake. 3rd round, Travis Kelce. 4th round, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And 5th round, Amari Cooper. I don't love the team. I think, it's good enough here in an 8-team league. But I think, possibly going with an Evans or Godwin in the 3rd round, risking Kelce maybe getting to the 4th, but knowing that Mark Andrews would still be an option here in the 6th round even, let alone, having to get that tight end there in that round. So overall, maybe some 3rd, 4th round alterations, but not a bad team here in an 8-team league.
Awesome. Well, that's going to wrap up today's episode. Tune in tomorrow for another mini mock draft. Until then, bust your board.